Okay, this may be a random video, but it's a theory I came up with. Theory? I don't know how to say it properly. But who cares? This is a Joy Boy and Sun God Nika theory I came up with. And yeah, to do with the sun and moon. So let's get right into it. So yeah, you probably already know. Luffy is the infamous Joy Boy, which I like to say is the reincarnation of Joy Boy, but that's a theory you people can agree or not agree on. That's your choice, but I'm not making fun of your opinion, just saying. But yeah, this theory today may sound crazy, so as I say again, let's get right into it. So, Luffy, the infamous Joy Boy, well, his Gear 5 is Joy Boy, I like to think he's the reincarnation of Joy Boy. And basically, he, of course, has a connection to the sun and moon. And yeah, same with the Fishman having some connection to Sun God Nika, which I like to think they, have a connection to the sun. And, yeah, since Joy Boy has a connection to the moon, in my opinion, because his hair is some kind of whitish grayish color, which is kind of similar to the color of the moon. Even in the real world, in One Piece. Well, they're legit the same color, but whatever. As we may have guessed, Luffy is the sun god Nika and Joy Boy combined together, because Joy Boy was also Nika. And yet, the fishmen are connected to the sun, and the humans are connected to the moon somehow. That's basically the first part of the theory I have today. And well, the second part of this theory is, well, since the humans, well, are connected to the moon, and the fishmen are connected to the sun, that means because since Joy Boy, a long time ago, also being sun god Nika, he tried to, well, create, like, a place, well, to make the world a place where, yeah, the humans and the fishmen can get along back in the void period. But yeah, you basically get what I'm trying to say. Is that, yeah, he tried to get both races to get along, and the third part of this theory is what I think that, well, Joy Boy originally lived on the moon, because NL originally said that, well, there's a race on the moon, and since I think Joy Boy was originally born on the moon, and he came down to Earth, and met the fishmen and the humans, and the two races weren't getting along, he tried to get them to get along back in the void period. But of course, since there was a massive war, Joy Boy couldn't really do anything about it, and so he became a part of the war. He, and basically his devil fruit power, joined the war and became one of the most powerful devil fruits throughout time itself. And yeah, Enmu and other stuff got involved, and yeah. So Joy Boy and Enmu battled, or something like that, I don't really know. But all I'm saying is that my theory is that Joy Boy was born on the moon, he came down to Earth, met the two races, made them get along, and he also had the power of the sun and moon because he was sun god Nika. But on the moon he was called, well, on Earth he was called Joy Boy and sun god Nika. To the fishmen he was called sun god Nika, humans Joy Boy, and on the moon his name was Luffy. Or not, but meh. All I'm saying is to the fishmen he was sun god Nika, to the humans he was Joy Boy. So eventually when he died, his power turned into a devil fruit, and yeah. Eventually he had the will of D, which he ended up creating, and so it got passed on through history throughout the pirate generations in the One Piece world. And yeah, his legend goes far beyond anything, but the legend said he was lost to history, so he can only be found on polyglyphs now. He was created on polyglyphs because, well, yeah, he asked to be created on polyglyphs, and he didn't want his history going out. And so, yeah, Joy Boy was lost to history, but his other side, Sun God Nika, was always known to history to the fishmen, which were previous slaves from Marijoa. And yet, slaves of the celestial dragons, and yeah, When they escaped, they branded the mark and worshipped a god named Sun God Nika. It was passed on to many generations. Slavery started after Joyboy passed away, and the two races didn't really get along anymore, and so Joyboy was lost to history, and Sun God Nika was known as a god, which was his other side, to the Fishman. But before it all happened, the Fishmen and the humans got along, all thanks to Joyboy. But of course, like I said, his passing caused them to not get along again. Of course, since he was reborn as Luffy once more, which is his original name, and he called himself Monkey D. Luffy, because, well, yeah. I'm only saying he was possibly called Luffy in his past life, and so, yeah, and if not, then he's just called Joyboy, but I'm just gonna go for the Joyboy one, why not? But I keep still also saying he's also Luffy, because that may be a possibility, but yeah. Let's just say he was Joyboy in his previous life, reborn as Monkey D. Luffy, carrying the will of D that he created himself. And so in the future he would go on to fix the world once more, just like in his past life as Joyboy. And so he, in Gear 5, is called Joyboy once more, but his name was also still Luffy, but like, yeah. He awakens his true self as in Gear 5, and yeah, when he goes back to normal, he's just known as Luffy once more, but he still has the name of Joyboy, just like his past life. And so, yeah, he goes on to fix the world, and yeah, continues to do that so. Letting his imagination run wild with the power of Gear 5 and his other gears. The power he holds, he eventually just goes forward, and yeah, like I said, he goes on to fix the world and become the king of the pirates, and to find the treasure he once left behind in his past life, while having no memory of it in his new life, known as Monkey D. Luffy, carrying the will he created, the will of D. And what I mean by, well, letting his imagination go wild and go forward, basically, is because, like, his powers were the power of the sun and moons, the power of Sun God Nika, and the power of Joyboy, which it was also his original name, or it was Luffy, but either way, it's up to you what you think. Who really cares about his name? All I know is that my theory is, I'm just saying, he was reborn as Luffy, and in his past life he was called Joyboy, but to the Fishmen he was known as Sun God Nika, and to the humans he was known as his real name, Joyboy, or maybe Luffy, but like I said, that's up to you what you think. And so his death caused loads of trouble, and yeah. Reborn as Luffy, fixes the world, and that other kind of stuff. And yeah, originally born on the moon, came down to Earth, and NL in the future, meeting Luffy, which is Joyboy in his new life. Eventually just goes and, yeah, NL's gone to find the civilization on the moon. And I can also imagine in a future chapter that maybe chapter, I don't know how to talk properly, but yeah, maybe I could just imagine later on, maybe in a future chapter, NL and Luffy meet on the moon, and the civilization is there and more, and yeah, can start a whole nother story. But I don't know about my theory, who knows, but yeah. And yeah, he has the power of the moon and the sun, thanks to his imagination or whatever. But yeah, well, this is just my theory, so yeah. We still don't know much about the giant straw hat though, so maybe it's wrong, or maybe it's right, because of Enmu, but whatever. That will do it for today. Who knows what Oda has conjuring up in that mind of his, creating, well, continuing his amazing series, but one day he will definitely reveal the true story of Joyboy and his powers of Sun God Nika and Joyboy or whatever, I think, but whatever. But yeah, it's either I think or not, but whatever. I don't know why I keep saying whatever. But that doesn't really matter, but yeah, like I said, Oda has whatever he has planned, and yeah, this is just a theory, so yeah, that'll do it for today. Make sure to click that red button and turn the bell on all. that was savage. And cringe. Goodbye.